Wow, Rafael, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Yvonne. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm back up in Nashville. We were here just a little while ago with National Comp, and as you know, I come up here frequently to visit family for Thanksgiving. So, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. I really enjoyed spending time with you guys right before you left up for Nashville. It's always good to spend time together. Love you and Kuko and your entire family. It's really you guys have become so incredibly special to us. So it's always a treat to be able to spend a little time together. And we had a great Thanksgiving, a house full of family and friends. So lots of noise, lots of food. As always, I overate, Yvonne. Too much eating.
I know we did the same here, and I share the same sentiment. I love and adore you guys. It's always good to get together, and I just think that you and I both share the gratitude that our families are close and that everybody has their health and everybody's doing well. And as we wrap up this season, we want to share that sentiment with all of our listeners. We're so grateful to you all and hope that you had a wonderful, peaceful holiday with your friends and family.
Here, here. I echo that.
Yeah, so it's time to wrap up our season 5. I just can't believe we're here.
It really is. It's hard to imagine, Yvonne. End of season 5. Holy cow.
I know. So, how do you feel it's going? So, as you know, and some of our listeners, if they've been paying attention, that I now split my time between Panama and Tampa for the most part, and I think it's been going all right. We tend to deal with that. Sometimes I forget where I am and say I'm in Tampa when I'm actually in Panama. But other than that little snafu, I think it's been going all right. What do you think?
Seamless. I don't know how you do it, but it feels like you're next door. It feels like you're just right down the road. We get to see each other still plenty of times, in places around the country. So I don't even think you're in Panama. Although, other than when you tell me you're in Panama, like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Well, I definitely don't get to attend as many events as I used to, and that sometimes bugs me a little more because I don't see the folks that we've gotten to know except once or twice a year. And you know what? Um, I'm learning to lean into that. When we saw each other at National Comp, we had the opportunity to spend some time with a few of our good industry friends, and it makes it so much more special. I think for me, it makes me a little bit more intentional about the time that I spend. And it's not that I don't enjoy seeing other people, but I really do kind of soak up the time that I do get to spend with folks, and so it just makes it all that much more special.
It is special. And both this time of the year and National Comp, it's always kind of our last event,
Mm.
brings that out in us, right? It really is special to see friends, folks that we've known forever and ever and really love and appreciate.
That's right. So let's dive into our season wrap up. First of all, I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that it's the end of season 5 and we have over 51,500 downloads. That's just something. And, we had a lot of firsts this year, though, Ralph. Um, we launched a new website.
Yes.
So we have deconstructingcomp.com now where you can find information about us and our episodes and some other things we're up to. What else did we do that was new this year?
You brought us a YouTube channel, so all our shenanigans for the world to see. And I've really enjoyed it. I've watched every single one of them, a couple of them more than once. And I'm still laughing through some of them. I love when okay, Ralph, move it. Come on, Ralph, stop that loving of yours. I love it. I laugh at that every time, no matter how many times.
Well, and shout out to my daughter, Ariana Halvai. She is our editor, both for our audio episodes, and she is the one that puts the YouTube episodes together and loads them up to YouTube. So thanks to her, we're able to keep those going on YouTube. And it's really been interesting to see that grow and be able to see our library of episodes there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to expanding that and seeing what else we can do with that YouTube channel.
I am. I'm excited about it because it gives folks yet another opportunity to touch us and be with us and engage with us. So it's fun to see that as well.
Absolutely. What else? We did something else really big this year.
We've done so much, Yvonne. We really have. For me, I mean, one of the biggest things that we did this year, we hosted our first Changemaker Awards. That was both fun, exhilarating, and moving at the same time. The amazing folks that we get to see and that we get to, truly bring out to the community and share what they've been doing, how they've been serving our workers' comp industry. Really remarkable. I get emotional about it every time because, like you and I have said again and again, the greatest people, the greatest professionals are right here in our own little backyard in workers' comp, aren't they?
That's right, they are. So if you're not sure what we're talking about, go out to deconstructingcomp.com and you'll find information about the Changemaker Awards there. We don't have the honorees up yet. We're still gathering some of those profiles, but those should be up here in the next week or two. And so you can read about our Changemaker honorees for 2025. And I want to say a special thank you and heartfelt, just so much gratitude to our advisory committee. This was the first year that we did the Changemaker Awards. And as always, with something new, it didn't go quite as smooth as we intended it to. It went pretty well, but there were a few little hiccups along the way that we had to navigate around. But I think the end result was really good. And so I want to say thank you so much to our advisory committee. They're also out on the Deconstructing Comp website if you want to see who those people are.
I'm so glad you mentioned them because it's true, right? Without their help, we couldn't have done all of that. And like every new project, hiccups along the way, but boy, oh boy, it turned out incredible, Yvonne. You really did. It's amazing what you're able to do. And I mean, gorgeous, incredible view of the ocean in California, in San Diego, California. It doesn't get any better. I mean, I don't know how you can beat it. It's just incredible. It really
Yeah, we
is.
did have that lovely ocean backdrop. So we will be back next year. So you heard it here first, folks. We'll be back next year in beautiful and sunny San Diego at the Elevate Conference. The dates have dropped for that. Dwayne's been doing an incredible job getting the word out about that. That's going to be September 21st to the 23rd next year. So we will be back there and we will be announcing the 2026 honorees for Changemakers. So that'll be something to look forward to. So let's get to talking about our podcast and what we're doing. So season 5, I still can't believe that we're wrapping our 5th season, but we decided to take a deeper dive, with an educational focus to our episodes. So how do you think we did this year, Ralph?
I loved it, Yvonne. I think it brought us back to the original reason we started this podcast, right? We really wanted to be educational. We really wanted to break down these complex issues in our industry. And I think we did that this year. I think we took deep dives with the most amazing guest. We were just mentioning it, the experts, right, that we were able to bring on, the gravity of their expertise, and really break it down and provide our listeners with a little education about each of the different components we explored.
That's right. I think, it's a tall ask, right? It's a very big ask to be able to break down anything in our workers' compensation system into, a short episode. But you know what I would say to our listeners? If you haven't listened to all of the episodes from this year, go out and listen. Every single guest that we have on brings a different perspective, from their unique perspective within the workers' compensation system. And I think when you listen to what they have to say, you really start to weave together this really amazing tapestry that both of us are so proud to be a part of and so eager to continue to, we often joke about our age and still going in workers' comp and all that, but you and I have also talked about, we don't really see an end in sight. We love what we do. We want to keep going. And so as far as we can see, we're going to keep going down this path of talking to our wonderful industry colleagues. What are your thoughts on that?
I echo that 120%. No end in sight, because I think every time we speak to yet another one of our guests, we get so excited about the 10 other things, right, that we wanted to talk to them about and others that are out in the field doing it. It is exciting. It is refreshing. We're still learning. all these years later, Yvonne, like you said, we're still soaking it up. We're still in it, involved, interested, right?
Hmm.
Engaged, all of that. Absolutely.
And you and I always say there every single episode that we do, we come away learning something new.
Yeah.
Um, it's just really incredible. So go out and listen to our episodes and see. We'd like to hear from you if there's something that we haven't covered. I've identified a few things that I don't think we quite covered this season when it comes to understanding the basic concepts of workers' compensation. I attended quite a few sessions at National Comp. Normally, I don't get to do that, but I was very intentional about that this year. And I wrote down some things that I think we need to tackle early next year. So we'll do that and we'll invite some of the guests that we heard speak. Um, there's also another challenge that I continue to have with you. Do you know what that could be?
Let me guess. You want me to be longer. You want me to take more time. Is that what it is?
No, not exactly. So that's another thing that I have said often since we started, that we were going to attempt to keep our episodes short. And so far, I have failed miserably. And while it's been really a lot of fun, I have renewed Ralph, and I've talked about this. So you guys that think I'm really mean to Ralph all the time, it's a joint effort. And he agrees that we do need to be more focused and keep our episodes a little shorter. We're aiming for that 35 minute, um, you know, length, because we think that that's a little bit more digestible. We're just so busy, Ralph. Everybody's running around and accomplishing and trying to do so many things. And I think that if we keep our episodes to 30 and 35 minutes, I think it's going to be better for all of us. And I keep saying this, those that know me know I'm constantly pushing with sessions at any conference or webinar. We need to learn to say what we need to say with less time.
You are. If nothing else, you have been very consistent out there and with me as well throughout the podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, I am committing to it. You have my word. This year, we're going to keep our episodes between 30 and 35 minutes. It's time. It's time that I learned to do that. And I've been working on it now for a while. Mentally, I have been preparing, Yvonne. I'm ready for it.
Well, and it's a challenge to myself as well. I don't profess to be the best at it. I can sometimes, when I go back and listen, I tend to take a little bit too much time, I think, to get to asking a question. So it's a challenge to myself as well. Trying to up my ante as a public speaker. And I just think there's always room for improvement. So I just reflect back on, remember that time I asked you to do a 20 tips in 20 minutes on Medicare set-asides? And we had, I think there was at least 4, but there might have been 5 of you guys on that panel.
I'm still having nightmares about that, Yvonne. How can you do that to me in 20 minutes?
But you did it, right?
I
And it
did
was
it.
one of
I
it was
did.
one of the favored sessions that year. It was really good.
It
So
was. I must admit, people had fun with it and really enjoyed it. And we played it up big, if you will. We had a lot of fun with it.
yeah, shout out to Stuart Colburn and our good friend Judge Robert Rass. They've done 60 tips in 60 minutes at National Comp, and they did this
Yep.
year too, and it's always good. So we kind of borrowed their concept to do a short episode on Medicare set aside. So anyway, I know it can be done. I know it's challenging, but we can do it. And I think that will make our episodes even more memorable if we can get to the meat of the conversation and share really important concepts in 30 minutes. I think that will be a really good thing.
Agreed. Agreed. You've got my word.
All right. So what are some other standout moments, Ralph, from this year? We had a lot of guests. We had a total of 22, I think, regular episodes. So lots of folks. What are some things that stood out to you?
I really enjoyed, once again, the quality of our guests. It just stands out. When I think about Dr. Iglesias, when I think about Judge Langham and Judge Rasp, right? When I think about, for example, here in my neck of the woods, we had Gina Jacobs and we also had Paulo Longo. We had the most amazing, world-class, nationally well-known, wow, home runs every time. So for me, and this is every single season, what an incredible, right, number of guests that we've had that have just been awesome, incredible experts in this field, in this area.
I agree. I think we covered some really good and broad perspectives. So we talked to Joseph Sousa, City of San Diego, Rosa Arroyo, Miami-Dade County Schools in Florida, South Florida. Um, our ending episode is Daryl Mathis, City of Chicago, Melissa Steger, UT System in Austin, and then Cynthia Seifert, Sharp Healthcare, also in San Diego. So we got to talking to some really good, experienced individuals that are managing some really big programs. And I think that we were able to get some really good insight from their running of their programs. And it's all of them are different, have different perspectives and different challenges. But I think that's what makes our system so interesting.
When I think about it for a moment or two, I get all giddy, and I mean the incredibleness of the programs that each of those individuals you just mentioned are running, the millions of dollars, right, that are passing through their hands, if you will, in taking care of injured workers and their systems. Just wow, right? I think about it some more, and I'm wowed all over again. I'm like, whew, how did we do that? How did we get so lucky to be able to speak to each of these folks about each of their programs? Wow.
Yeah, and I think you and I talked about this. We need to put our heads together and talk about how we can carry through some of our conversations we have on our podcast into maybe some conference sessions, because, can you imagine getting Daryl Mathis and Joseph Sousa together, for example, to talk about comparing and contrasting their two programs, two incredibly big programs. But, the one thing that I take away, even though there are different challenges in each of these different programs, we tend to hear a lot of the same things. It's not rocket science, right? Paying attention to what it is that your employees need, and making sure that you do the right thing, making sure that communication is going in the right direction. I mean, these are concepts we hear over and over again. And despite what challenges they're faced with, these are the things that they focus on, making sure that their programs run as well as could be expected.
That's so true, Yvonne. All of them shared with us their desire to run a program where they're not obstacles, but they provide that benefit to their injured workers immediately, as quickly as possible. Yes to that medical visit. Yes to that diagnostic study. All of them shared with us how they've worked so hard to create a program where they don't stand in the way, but they're there to help. So you're right. It's not rocket science, as you called it, right? It's that incredible, deep, right, feeling of you want to be there to help in maybe somebody's most awful day, if you will. Yeah, love that.
Yeah, and I'm going to make a comment about something I just read today. So another friend, we've got to get her on the podcast, Leslie Cadet, Dr. Leslie Cadet,
Yes,
who's in Southern California. She made a post, I think it was today, could have been, in the last couple of days, talking about an interaction she had with an adjuster, and how this one decision that the adjuster made limited the ability for this claim to move forward. And she was basically talking about these are the kinds of things that employers need to be looking out for in their programs. And one flip decision, right? They think they're following the regulation, but in this particular post, Dr. Cadet points out that this is in fact not the accurate translation of the regulation that the adjuster mentioned. And so this adjuster was basically deciding not to assist in getting a referral because she felt that the legislation states that she cannot. And so Dr. Cadet was basically explaining, in my opinion, her opinion, every adjuster should do what they can to move the claim along, to make sure that you're taking every opportunity to get that referral, help it happen, and just streamline things. And that's what Joseph talks about in his program. There's a lot of fast track to services and to appointments that he makes available in his program. So anyway, it's just really interesting to me that it's the little things that we tend to get tripped up on that do cause harm in our system.
Yeah, I loved each of those conversations with those leaders that run these major, huge programs. Um, Rosa Arroyo, I'm still marvel right at how such a large program able to find ways, means, and services to bring family, bring members, right? To and then start talking about not just the injury, but health overall. Like,
Mm.
wow, incredible, right? Amazing. They are live changing methodologies, right? They are
Hmm.
altering the way that people think about our workers' compensation system. Yeah.
Yeah, and interesting. You know how I am. Everybody always accuses me of being the Pollyanna in the room, but it's amazing what you find when you demonstrate to your employees that you do care about their health and their wellness, how that is paid back, multiple times over in the way that your program results come out.
It's so true, right? You said it multiple times. You've said it here again. It's not rocket science, right? It really is about caring and showing that every single day. Absolutely.
Yeah. And let's see, what else do we have? So, we don't want to leave anybody out. We had so many great guests this year. Jeff Adelson came on, and we've had him before, but he talked specifically this time about the necessary soft skills that we need to pay attention to in this industry, empathy and ethics. And that was a very interesting conversation. What else? Stuart Colburn, shout out to him again. This was the first time he was a guest. He's been a live guest in the past where we were attending a conference in Texas, but this time it was a full episode with Stuart talking about the Texas system and some of the things that are important to note about Texas.
Let's talk about that for a second, because that was one of the things that we did this year, Yvonne, is again, taking this deeper dive into education. We focused on California, on Florida, and on Texas. And we had folks from each of those states come talk to us about the similarities and the differences and the nuances in each of these states and their workers' compensation systems and how they handle issues differently. Really, really enjoyed that. It just brings to the forefront, right? We know workers' comp. We really don't know workers' comp, right? You've got to talk about each state, and each state has its own history, its own thing going. And those conversations really allowed us to take a deep dive down that way. What do you think?
Absolutely. And we definitely had some guests that were outside of those three states. I'm thinking about Kirsten Kaiser Kush came
Yes,
on. She
love
talked about
her.
the different stakeholders, and she comes from a different state. I think she's in Indiana. Is that
She
right?
is. Yeah.
So yeah, and it's really amazing to me. Every state, like you said, you talk about that state, and there are nuances to that state that are different from any other state. So you really have to understand the states that you're working within to really to do a good job. What
I
else?
do. I just loved those conversations. They brought forth the detail of our workers' comp system. We all tend to generally think we know comp, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, that's different in my neck of the woods. So to be able to have those conversations again and again and again with different folks from different states, to really be able to compare and contrast what we all think might be the comp law generally, it's a lot of fun. And you said it already today, we were learning. I was taking notes on all of those, thinking, wait a second, I don't think I knew that before. I love that. I love when I'm learning as we're doing these episodes as well.
Yeah, so just a couple of folks that we haven't mentioned yet, because we don't want to overlook anybody. We had Molly Callan, our good friend Molly Callan, and
Yes.
she talked about something we just mentioned, how communication is key. She comes to us from the case manager perspective, and that was good. Of course,
Yeah.
Bill Zachary, his
Yes.
episode is Sisterhood of the Traveling Body Parts, another glimpse into California system, but his perspective on that is always really good. We had Nelson Gonzalez,
Yes.
one of our Changemaker Award honorees, talking about return to work and the importance of that. Amy Cooper, another change maker, talking about her event that she does, the Rise event there in Fort Lauderdale. Who did
What an
I miss?
amazing, what an amazing job she's done with Rise
Yeah,
and
yeah,
bringing that to the forefront and really opening it up to the young professionals in our industry, and not just comp, but overall insurance industry. Just so glad we were able to have her and have her speak,
yeah, yeah.
specifically about the conference itself.
Absolutely. And who else? We had our friend Jennifer Wolf. I think you were absent on this episode, if I remember
I
correctly.
I was, and I love her. She is just one of the brightest, stars in our industry. I just think the world of her and the work that she has done on a national scale with the National Academy of Social Insurance and the Workers' Compensation Committee there. I mean, no better product, right, to give us a view of this complex system and a comparative analysis of state to state than the product that she shares and that she's been putting together now for a number of years. So kudos
Yeah.
to her. Just
And
love her.
her episode was called Alphabet Soup. And that was, we had some fun talking about all the acronyms that we use in our industry and some common terms. So that was a fun episode to record with her. And then we had, of course, our good friends. Alex Swedlow started us off at the beginning of the season with the history of workers' compensation. Very informative and always really good to hear his stories about workers' compensation.
He took us way back too. I
He
mean,
sure did. He sure did. And of course, Joe Paduta talked
yes,
about our complicated legal framework in our system. So, I mean, I think we covered a lot of ground this year.
we did, Yvonne. We did. As I reviewed them to get ready for our episode here today, I'm always astonished, right, at the greatness of the speakers, the incredible experience, the knowledge base, and how incredible that they're willing to share it with us and with our listeners, and we get to learn from each of them a little more about this complex system of ours.
Yeah, so I think we mentioned everybody. Every single episode's rich with information, stories, which I think, you listen to the stories, you learn a little bit more about the person. We hear some interesting things that surprise us both.
That
So
has
yeah,
been one of the funnest parts of this. Like, wait, you did what?
yeah. And so we are wrapping this season and we're going to take a little bit of a break. So um, we generally come out in the middle to the latter part of January with our season intro. So look to that for next year. And what do we have to look forward to next year? So more episodes, continuing on our educational path of getting to know more about our workers' compensation system with every episode. And we have something new coming
We
next
do.
year.
We do, Yvonne. We do. So we're going to take education to an even bigger stage, higher level, right? We're going to double down on education and we're going to start doing webinars. We're going to offer, educational series and educational components as part of this entire thing that we're doing together in deconstructing comp. But we're going to venture out and really start harnessing and focusing on education, especially for young folks in our industry who really need this nice nibble-sized bites at these complex issues in our workers' comp system.
That's right. So we're going to start off with doing one, at least one per quarter, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited about that.
I am too.
Everybody that knows me knows I love putting together educational sessions. So
It is. It's your specialty. It's what you do best. It's what you've always been known for. So I'm really glad that you're leading us along this way once again. And I think, Yvonne, it's going to be so incredibly meaningful. We have both noticed it. There are a large number of new folks coming into the industry.
mhm.
And as we get to speak to them, what becomes obvious is they need someplace to go find out the most basic information about the system. And I think that's what you're about to produce for them here.
Yeah, and then the last thing that I can think of, that we've got a lot going on, Ralph. Good grief. Who's going to do all this? Who's going to do all this work? Um, we're also going to start a newsletter. So
Yes.
before the end of the year, somewhere around mid-December before Christmas, we will launch our newsletter. And so it's not going to be anything complicated. We're going to, every time we drop a new episode, we'll drop a short newsletter. And I hope that my hope is that we'll be able to do that with this episode. So this will be the first time we push out a newsletter, and each newsletter will include our most recent episode. And then we're going to tag team it, as we often do. And so every newsletter that comes out, we will share, one of us will share one big thing. So it'll be something, not anything specific, but whatever the thing is that we want to share about, and we'll talk a little bit about that thing. And then we'll take turns doing that every newsletter. It'll come out twice a month in cadence with our episodes. And then we'll also share episodes where, events where you can find us that are coming up. So I can tell you right now, Ralph will be at way more events than Yvonne will be. Because Yvonne, one of the ways that Yvonne keeps her wits about her is that I have to be very limited with my time back and forth between Panama and Tampa. So I've gotten very choosy with which events I will be to. So anyway, that'll be something else to look forward to. So our latest episode link, one big thing from one or the other of us, and then a snapshot of where we'll be in the coming weeks and months. So what do you think?
I'm so looking forward to it because we've got a couple of surprises for our folks out there. We're going to have a little fun as part of this newsletter as well. So I am really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great addition to everything that we're already doing and providing our folks out there as well.
So we're saying all that because I'm not quite sure when this is going to happen, but the time has come, folks, that we're doing so many things that we're going to open up Deconstructing Comp to some sponsorships, because we want to do everything we do well, mostly being, when we award the Changemaker Award winners, honorees, I should say, we want to make sure that we do that right and we do it well. So we'll be asking for a few sponsors to help us support that. And I think it's going to be really good. We've got a lot of great things going and really exciting stuff to look forward to.
I am so excited about that, Yvonne. And I hope that folks out there, who love the episodes and who love the stuff that we're putting together and that we bring to the industry, will want to continue to support us in that regard. I'm really hoping that will happen.
Me too. Well, I think we covered everything we talked about. Is there anything we missed, Ralph?
I don't think we did. And to our word, we got to keep this. Come on now, 30 to 35 minutes. We're right here.
Right here. So folks, as we end, again, we're so grateful for you joining us on this journey. We're having so much fun, Rafael and I, and we wish you and your family the best holiday season. And we can't wait to see you again in the new year. Ralph?
Our love and our very best wishes. Really hoping that you have a great season, holiday season. Our best. Please stay healthy. We love you.
I love you too. So until next year, hasta
Hasta
luego.
luego.
Wow, Rafael, can you believe it? It's December 1st, and we have, as of today, 51,503 downloads.
Unimaginable, Yvonne. I know, I can't believe it. I really can't. We are so incredibly grateful to each of our listeners for their support, for tuning in. We can't say it enough, can we? Thank you so much.
It really means a lot to have you with us. So please continue to like and share our content on social media. You can find Deconstructing Comp Podcast on LinkedIn. That's where we post our episodes. You can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Where else can they find us, Ralph?
You know what, Yvonne? Thanks to you and your wonderful efforts, we are now on YouTube as well. So not only can they listen to us, they can watch our shenanigans. And they can comment on every episode in each of the social media outlets we've got. They can truly connect with us and let us know what's happening and how much they're enjoying each of these episodes, right?
That's right. So not only can you hear us, you can as Rafael mentioned, watch the magic behind the episodes that we put together. Sometimes it's really interesting. And you know, every interaction helps our new listeners find us. So every like, every share, every comment. So please continue to do that. We love how our podcast has grown. And man, we're closing up season 5, and we'll see you soon with season 6.
You got it. Season 6. Listen to that.
I know. So until then, hasta luego.
Hasta luego.